Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to coverage again on LSRTV with the Northwest iRacing Truck Series. And of course, it's presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group. And tonight, it is the Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking 200, like Monday night for the Cup cars, but it's for the trucks. I'm Wesley Outland. Of course, yes, I had some obligations with Fox Sports Radio today, and I have not changed my clothes, so that's why I have on my swag. Yeah, Wesley Outland play-by-play joined alongside from my left, your right. Somehow we're going to switch it and get it this way. Here we go. That way. There we go, Wesley. Samuel Dyer's in the house from California, my color analyst. And Samuel, Cup cars on Monday night. Tonight is the trucks. We're going to have some fun. It should be a good race here at Kentucky.
Yeah, it certainly should be. I mean, we saw on Monday a lot of green flag racing until we saw the mishap of O'Hare as well as that of Ottenbacher. But besides that little mishap that we got to see, it was a lot of clean racing, and the drivers looked really stable in the Cup car. But the difference was the Cup machines. It was a fixed setup. Here tonight for the trucks, it is all open. You get to set up this truck as much as you want, and that means every driver has their different style and how they're going to like it. And honestly, I like the trucks. It allows these drivers to be so much more open. And if they like a loose car, a loose truck, they get to deal with that. If they like a tight truck, they get to have that as well. It's all up to the driver.
It's going to be a good show. And, of course, we saw Cole Raz pick up the win the other night. And, of course, he's on just the cusp of the outside looking in. And I talked about that. And, of course, we look at practice so far. Man, I'm so impressed with Kevin Smith. He's looking really, really good in practice in this session for today's race at Kentucky. By the way, in the production chair, as always, pushing the buttons is Hims, Charles Wooten in the LSRTV production truck. I wanted to mention him as well. So, yeah, we're getting ready for a great race. We hope you're enjoying some of the new enhanced coverage. We got a lot of more bells and whistles and gadgets we're working on. Greg Rentz is not going to be with us for the next couple of weeks. He has took a leave of absence to just kind of focus on the real job and the real racing work, and he'll get a breather, come back, and he'll be ready for the playoffs. But, again, this is the penultimate race for the trucks tonight at Kentucky, Samuel Dyer. Then we go to Talladega. All hell's going to break loose, I believe, next week as well. It should be a fun race. Who is your take of people that we should keep an eye on? As a matter of fact, before we do that, Charles Wooten, your pick to win tonight is, we all know, Jeff Stabnow. We didn't even create a graphic for it, okay? I just wanted to put him on the spot again to show that he didn't do his job. Create the graphic, Charles! Charles is riding with Jeff Stabnow, obviously, the Billings, Montana driver. Cup, cars, trucks, doesn't matter. He said he's going to ride with him, ride or die, until he gets a win. It could be tonight. Samuel Dyer, who is your pick?
I went with the hottest driver on the mile-and-a-half courses, Caden Anderson. He's won the last 4 mile-and-a-half courses. Why not go with the man who's got the most speed? Caden Anderson, honestly, one of my favorites coming in. He's got the most wins of the season in the trucks, and I want to be surprised if he continues on.
And my pick is, yes, any day now. Woo! Am I going on a limb but pulling another hat on this one? The Hermiston, Oregon driver, I believe, could be the night for him. Could he win? The driver of the 00, Kevin Smith, has looked strong. Got a couple of ARCA Northwest wins, but never a win in the Northwest Cup and Truck Series. Could that be tonight? I'm riding or dying with my pick of Kevin Smith. So, what did you say? Wow. Here's a quick statistic right now. I'm being told by our producer in our ear, Hims. That's why we call him Hims. By the way, right now, Samuel, Caden Anderson, Kevin Smith, first and second, 00 and 37. So, boy, did we pick him tonight for sure.
Oh,
hope we don't jinx him.
And guess what? Hims also picked his pick third on the board also. All our picks, they're doing great for qualifying.
Oh, wow. So, listen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we go back to on-track activity, the Team 126 Racing starting lineup. But before that, we will have your Race on Texas 411 race information for tonight at Kentucky and the sawblade.com weather conditions leading up to tonight's outdoor cast iron cooking 200 round number 22 for the Northwest iRacing Truck Series, proudly presented by Tom Denchel Automotive Group. Before we do go to break, we'd like to say that our thoughts and prayers and condolences are with the passing of one of the great motorsports journalists of our time, Robin Miller, who finally succumbed due to his battle with cancer, just like another colleague and someone I looked up as a kid to, and Bob Jenkins a few weeks ago. Robin Miller, we will miss you. Thank you for all of the great motorsports articles, the very unique way that you did broadcasting, whether it was on IMS radio or even on NBC. You will be missed. You are truly a talent in the IndyCar open wheel industry, from USAC to IndyCars, and Godspeed. More coverage in a moment when we return from Kentucky.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Hey, it's Wesley Outlet on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway, getting ready for the outdoor cast iron cooking 200. Wesley Outlet on play-by-play. Color analyst is Samuel Dyer. I'm in North Carolina. He is in California. And, of course, as always, in the heart of Texas is Mr. Charles Wooten. Real quickly, let's take a look at the race on Texas 411 tonight. Everything done, including practice, 2-lap qualifying, 134 laps, 200 miles, and that is presented by Race on Texas. .com. If you're in the Arklatex area, get you an awesome Speed Pass account at Race on Texas. Finally, sawblade.com, weather conditions to the right of the bottom. And there you see it, 80 degrees, track temp at 81, wind speed blowing at 6, partly cloudy, mostly cloudy skies. Should be interesting, Samuel. Should be a good race, and they're going to start under the lights like the Cup cars did on Monday night as well.
Yeah, it's going to be cool weather for these drivers, which is going to be key on making sure that they can stay steady. And, you know, with, like I said on Monday, with it being cool and being under the lights immediately, drivers, this first stint, going to be so important on every key factor you need on what setups and what changes you need to make on this first pit stop.
And without a further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Team 126 Racing starting lineup, as we are set for the field to get gridded for this event. It should be a good one. Again, we're getting ready for the cast iron, the outdoor cast iron cooking 200. And if you ever get a chance to go to their YouTube channel, check it out. It's going to be a fun one. 200 miles, 134 laps, as the virtual iRacing Kentucky Speedway is about to erupt with the roar of our trucks here. It's a great battle. By the way, the scoring ticker, we'll talk about that along the way. Samuel, as we await the Team 126 Racing starting lineup, there are some drivers that have already punched their ticket in to the playoffs.
Yeah, and with all those drivers that are punched their ticket, there's one driver that all he needs to do is just run one lap, and that is Devin West. If he runs one lap, then he is for sure going to be good to be locked into making it into the playoffs. And, man, the pressure of just making sure that his internet holds for one lap is on the 5.
One lap, that's all he needs for sure. Ready for the field gridding. The trucks are there. We're waiting on everyone else to get assembled, and then we'll be ready to cue it up for the starting lineup, and they're going to go for 200 miles, 134 laps here in the outdoor cast iron cooking 200. You take a look at the field ready. And again, as we were mentioning in our opening introduction, you've got Kevin Smith and Caden Anderson, our pick, Samuel and I. I'm going with the 00. Caden Anderson is there in that 37. He's riding with the 37. Charles, our producer, is going to go with the 4th place starter of Mr. Jeff Stabnow. So they're all in a click with one another as we are gridded. Let's give you your starting lineup presented by Team 126 Racing for 200 laps at Kentucky in the outdoor cast iron cooking 200. Kevin Smith on the pole. Could tonight be the night? My pick. He's in that 00 Ford to the outside. Caden Anderson from Yakima, Washington in the 37, the all-time winner this season on the tour. Casey Garver, the 94, Jack Daniels entry. He'll be ready to fire off 3rd to the outside. Jeff Stabnow in a very unique paint truck job out of Billings, Montana. He will start 4th. Row 3 on the grid. Cole Raz in the number 10 to the outside. It's Big Bird. Eric Cheney in the number 76. Row 4, Dennis Moore. He is looking for a win to the 44 to the outside. Ryan Bloom in truck number 25. And around out the top 10, Stephen O'Hare in the number 41. And to his outside, Dan West Jr., the defending Truck Series champion. He'll start 10th.
In row number 6, we find that of Stephen Paulison with Sean Breitzman to his outside. Row number 7, we're going to be finding out that of Robert Gamble as well as Brian Reynolds. Gamble, one of those drivers that needs to have a consistent run here tonight. One of the drivers around the bubble spot of making it into our playoffs top 12, pointing his way in. Row number 8, finding that of John Ottenbacher as well as Tyler King. Tyler King, I believe, points-wise, locking himself in. Devin West in 9th with that of Toby Reynolds. Toby Ritter, going to be to his outside in that 23. With that in row 10, it's going to be Carl Burke with Troy Daggett. And finishing out the last couple of positions, going to be Frank Harris and Aaron Cooper.
So there is the lineup. 22 trucks ready to go. 200 miles, 134 laps around Kentucky Speedway. I'm loving we have changed our paint scheme on the 4K Ford LSRTV number 24 truck to gold because LSRTV is setting above the mark of being your home for sim racing, the gold standard, the gold on the truck with 3 broadcasters coming soon. All the other cool stuff, the multi-cameras and more. We hope you enjoy it. Sit down, strap in, enjoy, or listen on CRN. Green in the air, Kentucky underway. And the outdoor cast iron cooking 200 is green inside, pulling away. Kevin Smith, could tonight be the night? Caden Anderson on the outside. The gold truck 24 Stabnow. Top 3, R3 off of 2.
And it's going to be our top 3 still single filed out. Casey Garver, though, needs to get in line quickly. But our top 3 trying to pull away. The 10 of Cole Raz, though, that's going to be the most interesting truck for me. Because on Monday he won, but he qualified back in 21st position. He's now going to be up in our top 5. We'll see if the 10 can have any conquering moves here early on. But it's going to be that of Kevin Smith ahead. But he's got Caden Anderson to his outside.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. We are underway. Anderson trying to fight around Kevin Smith for that spot down in the back straightaway to 3. There goes Cole Raz. We forgot about Cole Raz, by the way. He picked up the win of the Cup Series race on Monday night, and he's trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, if you will, a Hail Mary on the track to try to clinch the playoffs as well after missing numerous weeks because of real race competition for one of the drivers of the Alan Kawicki Driver Development Program in the Spears SRL Southwest Tour off of turn 2. Down the back straightaway, it's Smith. A cluster in single file now with Anderson, Raz, Stabnow, and more. Top 5 and 3.
It's a little bit early now, but that last lap, Cole Raz, fastest truck on the track. We'll see this next time by the truck on the move, 44, Dennis Moore. He's now into the top 5.
They roar up to speed to the outside. Stab now up the outside lane, more to the inside. Raz in front of them. Casey Garber is there as well. Into 3. To the outside. Here comes O'Hare. Here comes on the bottom now, Dan West Jr. Almost. Your top 8 right there with one another. And meanwhile, what a night. Change for the lead. Anderson trying to get around Smith for the lead into turn 1. New leader. Caden Anderson to P1 off 2.
I mean, what a dominant run he's been. The last 4 mile-and-a-half courses, he's found himself in victory lane and trying to make it 5 in a row for the mile-and-a-halfs. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he did it again. He's just been conquering these mile-and-a-halfs so much. And now we'll see. Does Kevin Smith fight back, or does he only have a good 5-lap run?
Watch them as they work their way off that corner. Still a lot of racing here left to go. Everybody playing nice so far. Honestly, Samuel, it's the way we set things up for the Cup race on Monday, if you remember.
Yeah, a lot of drivers getting in line, and it was our front runners. Whoever really felt like getting ahead early. I mean, Caden Anderson kind of doing exactly what we saw Stabnow do early in that Cup race of just get ahead quick and try to pull away from everyone else. And that was our pole car at the time on Monday. That was Dan West Jr. that fell back after a couple laps up front. This time, we'll see if Kevin Smith, if he's just going to fall back and let these drivers go and then climb back with his tires. He's still fighting it. It's Cole Raz on the outside for the 10. Watch out, maybe a little bit of contact made.
Whoa, Raz in the wall. Cole Raz shot like a rabbit out of a cannon, if you will, into the outside wall, through the Geico restart zone. Truck, heavy damage on the right side. He's pancaked. The number 10, the Monday night winner, struggling now in an early fast repair might be coming on the number 10 Ford of Cole Raz. From the penthouse to the outhouse, he goes to dead last, and he's in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, Smith was just trying to do a little bit of a crossover move, and it did not work out. He was not completely clear, and that rear bumper just clipped the 10, pushed him high and into the wall. Cole Raz went from battling for second to now back to 20th, last truck on the track.
What a tough break. We will watch all of this going on. And no caution, mind you. No yellow flags fly.
Well, Stabnow getting into the wall as well. Just that outside wall starting to stick out a little bit more for these trucks. Again, this is the open setups here tonight, so the drivers were able to build the setups for themselves and got a little bit of a report, I mean, from the LSRTV team, hearing from that Dan West Jr. loved the setup that they're working with, but it was Jeff Stabnow that was not feeling comfortable with the way the setup was feeling as we're watching the great battling currently for 9th place.
Back straight away. Bloom, Paulison battling. Those drivers in 7th, 8th, and 9th with also Dan West Jr. now drifting in front of them along with Christian Gardner. Or Casey Garber, my apologies, Casey Garber.
It was just saw on the ticker of the 10 in pit road. He used the fast repair, and he is right back out on track. You know he didn't want to use the fast repair this early, but too much damage on the 10. If you wanted to be competitive, had to get back out there on track. 1 lap down is Cole Raz.
Working their way back around. Off of 2. As Anderson is the man out in front. He is leading the way. Anderson in that car, working back into that 3rd turn, if you will. Watching how O'Hare is there. O'Hare would stab down. And what a performance right now as we go down side-by-side multi-screen. Your scoring ticker will now go to the top. We go on board with Stephen O'Hare, trying to get around the 4K Ford Gold 24 of Jeff Stabnow. Now in 4K Ultra HD quality, the multi-cameras, all of the camera setup and bells and whistles that have been added. What a phenomenal job just to make the broadcast enhancement better for those that are watching on LSRTV or listening on the Community Radio Network. And of course, going to be working towards a 3-announcer booth. And actually tonight we do have 3 announcers, but we have a what you would call a rabbit. We have a rabbit that is actually just kind of spotting and just observing.
Yeah, giving people a shot to listen in and be a shadow, listen and get a feel of what LSRTV and being in the booth is like. And we're loving the fact that we're getting more and more people wanting to be in the booth. Love to have all the talent in the world to be helping us out. But Wesley, I think you and I both can say it. We like our job. We have fun up in the booth.
I love my job. I love what I do for a career. And as Charles always says, he's just here so he don't get fined. But we want to give a shout out to Chris Carmeyer. Chris Carmeyer is joining us as a spotter, rabbit, kind of watching things. As Kevin Smith, Stephen O'Hare, Jeff Stabnow right there for that spot. And that is going on for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And meanwhile, your pick, Caden Anderson pulling away.
Yeah, he's pulling away for now, but Dennis Moore certainly has been slowly chipping away at this lead. If I had to pick really a dark horse, I think Dennis Moore would have been that. I mean, this 44 team has just been getting stronger week after week. The Beaver State guys, I mean, they just continue to find speed that I think other teams, they're working on that short run and medium run pace, but it's when we get into these super long runs after 20 laps, that's when the Beaver State guys are at their fastest. And Dennis Moore is showing it here as he's on the back bumper, less than 2/10. Dennis Moore wants that lead.
Back straightaway, 3rd turn. There goes Anderson. Anderson and Dennis Moore battling. Dennis Moore in that 44 truck trying to show that he belongs to run with the big boys here tonight of the outdoor cast iron cooking 200 down to the inside, making a run. Dennis Moore looking for the lead. He's there. 3rd lead change of the race, or correction, 2nd lead change, 3rd different leader of the race if it happens. Door to door, side by side as they work their way to the 3rd turn.
There's not even enough room. A little bit of contact rubbing coming out of the exit of the corner, but Dennis Moore, how much this win would mean for him. It would lock him into the playoffs. He comes in 13th in points. He needs a win, or at least a massive point day here today.
Yeah, he certainly does. On the outside looking in, if you will. 20 of 134. Anderson, Moore. And now Moore getting back to the front. Look at the battle going on. We got in the snakes patch, if you will. Inside, Robert Gamble, 54. Inside, outside, Wrangler, 12. Briar Reynolds, red, 23. Can't decide whether to go inside or outside. Clifford, the big red dog. In the Bud truck, 23. Trying to go after him for that spot. And that's going on inside, if you will, the top 15. For 14th, 15th, and 16th on the racetrack.
Yeah, look at these guys continuing to dig hard. Robert Gamble on the inside. And Gamble, one of those other drivers that's on the bubble. He's actually 12th in points coming into today. So with having not the best showing, could be being bumped out of that 12th position. It could be seen, if Dennis Moore continues on with this, bumping that 54 team out of the playoffs.
Off into that corner, into that turn there up the racetrack. Anderson losing ground. Anderson stabbed now. Right behind him in the 24. And Dan West Jr. right there as well.
I mean, looking back at last season here at Kentucky, Dan West Jr., the winner in the trucks at this course. So the speed for the 55 certainly is there. And if he can continue at this pace, he's kind of doing a similar strategy that he did on Monday night for Dan West Jr. Just linger back, wait for 20 laps into a run, and use the tires that he's been saving to really make us charge through the pack.
Stabnow down, closing in under Dan West Jr. Work their way off for that second turn down the back straightaway here. Virtual Sparta, Kentucky, 25 laps in. Coming up this time by, it'll be 110 laps to go. So a long way to go in this race. A green flag run underway. We've had a couple of scares along the way where Anderson's losing ground now on the field. And we also saw where Cole Raz bounced off the wall, battling for position, and he's fell back. So problems on the number 10 truck of Cole Raz. And while we're at it now on lap number 25, let's give you your full field rundown as they'll work their way on lap 25, this time by complete. Dennis Moore leads, Stephen O'Hara second, Caden Anderson third. Dan West Jr. now goes to third. Jeff Stabnow fourth, Caden Anderson.
Whoa, Caden
fifth.
Anderson!
And we got problems for Caden Anderson. Anderson in trouble. Caution is out for Caden Anderson.
Well, this caution came a little bit sooner than Monday night, that's for sure. Here's our Pulse Poppers instant replay.
Yellow flag. Anderson and Dan West Jr. in the contact with Dan West Jr. I don't think DWJ meant to get into KA. Dan West Jr. indicated Anderson with the names abbreviated there if you count that. But Samuel, I think it was just a racing deal. I don't think anything was done intentional on doing that. And I think we got trucks coming to the pit lane.
We got a lot of trucks coming into pit lane. A few trucks I'm kind of concerned about after the initial wreck from Dan West Jr. and Caden Anderson. I think I saw that of our pole sitter, Kevin Smith, as well as Tyler King, making a little bit of contact. So there are going to be trucks on pit road trying to stay a little bit longer, try to get repairs done before getting out there. But this is a saving grace in a way for Cole Raz, who is the only car lap down. He'll get the lucky dog position. We'll be back to 20 trucks back on the lead lap.
Smith, Anderson, Stabnow, Garber. Here comes Sean Breitzman out of the pits. Stabnow out. Stabnow out. Look at that. Jeff Stabnow beating everybody out of the pit lane. With the exception of the trucks that did not pit, a good run for Jeff Stabnow in the 4K Ford Gold 24. Under caution, first time here tonight at Kentucky. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more coverage in a moment. The Northwest iRacing Truck Series, outdoor, cast iron cooking, getting grilled up in Kentucky. And right now, Dennis Moore looking for win more if he can tonight. Back with more on LSRTV and on the CRN Sports Network with coverage of iRacing.
Every customer, every single time, needs to get our very best. From moment one, my goal managing a team here in the dealership is to make sure that that customer's experience is the very best that they've ever had. We expect and demand total transparency. There should never be a time in that transaction where the customer is wondering or not quite sure of what they're buying or what they're paying or those sorts of things. And having that transparency and doing things the right way is super important.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland on the set of the Bull Ring on Speed 51 TV, but I also want to remind everybody that you can keep up with coverage of esports with the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League, S&B Cup Series, and so much more on your home for sim racing, LSRTV. Of course, remember, you can watch it, and then you can listen to it on CRN, the community radio network, at wearecrn.com. Check us out when you can.
Welcome
back.
back, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, quit
Wasn't sure if
stepping
you
on
were
my
gone or not.
lines there, Samuel Dyer. Quit stepping on my lines.
You
We're back.
weren't
Well,
talking.
I didn't hear the music cue back up. I didn't hear our producer. It's him's fault. But anyhow, Hims, I'm not going back to work until you play our music. I love our music. Got to play it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Now we're back. 29 of 134 laps complete. I'm Wesley Outlet, Sam Dyer alongside Charles Wooten, pressing buttons, missing buttons by accident. We welcome you. Samuel, you're taking the 30 laps of the race so far.
Yeah, no, it's been really clean. We've got to see drivers that are willing to be aggressive early on, and my eyes have to be on that of Caden Anderson. How well is he going to be rebounding, as well as Cole Raz? Dennis Moore with taking a little bit of a longer pit stop. He's going to be all the way back in 15th. It's going to take a while for him to get back up front. Traffic could be a danger as one car stayed out. It's going to be Ryan Bloom in the 25 truck.
All right. So we will get ready to bring them back to the Geico restart zone for a restart here. So we have Daggett and Harris, Aaron Cooper, and Dennis Moore. All these trucks, you see all their beautiful colors, the green flag going back in the air, and here we go again. Back to it. To the outside, restart. Ryan Bloom going after Sean Breitzman. Jeff Stabdow right to third. Anderson right back behind him as well.
Sean Breitzman and Jeff Stabdow, I mean, they are making their moves forward. A couple of the drivers we're used to seeing up front, they are falling backwards, getting some damage repair for both that Dennis Moore as well as that of Kevin Smith. They're going to have to rebound. Also, Wesley, TeamSpeak, you are fully muted.
There we go, I'm back. I'm back now. I'm back. So technically it was my fault. Oh, well. It's still the producer's fault. It was.
I gave you 3. We're good. Mike's live, and that's when I stepped on him.
Don't step on my lines. I was waiting for him to tell me we were live. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't hear it. Oh, Stabdow around teammate Breitzman for the lead.
I mean, this is a familiar picture that we got to see. Was Stabdow in the lead in the Cup race Monday night in those first 30 laps of the race. And for Jeff Stabdow, he's been in a very interesting point of just racing in general. His racing rig is not fully set up. He's been racing on a half-built rig, and he says it has been uncomfortable to race, but he certainly has been putting on a show, even with a rig that really hasn't been set to his fine-tuning yet.
Look at this gaggle of traffic going on around the racetrack. Daggett, Harris, O'Hare, King, single file. Look at them work their way and weasel like a snake into the third turn. They slither their way into the corner.
Oh, man, drivers that are around one another. I mean, you got John Ottenbacher and King as well as O'Hare. Those 3 drivers certainly had a different type of Monday night.
Back straightaway, third turn. There goes O'Hare. And there goes King in the middle. King coming after Daggett, going after Ritters. Ritters going after Harris. Boy, oh boy, they're fighting. They're going to sit in 3 wide, 4 wide up the racetrack with Daggett. And they're going to go 4 wide again into turn number 1 and 2. They're going to stay 3 wide up the racetrack in the middle. Hot dog between the bun is O'Hare. Ritter scampers away like in a dark alley, like a mouse running away from the cat to the back straightaway to the 3rd turn. And Cole Raz, he can blink and nod on his machine as they go to 3.
Oh man, blinking in the middle of almost 3 wide racing is a terror for these drivers. Cole Raz, luckily he didn't blink again, but they're still forcing it almost 3 wide again.
Working back into the corner. Understanding Eric Cheney's internet crashed, and that's why he was not able to start the race. What a heartbreak for Big Bird. And Carl Burke didn't take the green either.
Yeah, I think it was a similar story also for Carl Burke. Both drivers did not start. Went from 22 down to 20 in just a blink of an eye before we even started the race.
Single file up the racetrack inside. Stab now. Brightsman. West.
Looking at the times of these drivers last time by, it was Sean Breisman, fastest car. Then Stab now, and then last car was Casey Garber in 4th. That's a driver to be watching out as they continue to duke it out for the lead. Stab now continuously trying to hold off that of Sean Breisman.
Battle cam, you see the action there. Right on board with Sean Brightsman. He is bobbing and weaving and wiggling and giggling and jiggle and a wiggle. Down to the inside, going after Stab now. Dan West Jr. right there with him, and that's for 2nd spot. Caden Anderson brought out the caution. Samuel Bright back into the top 5. He's in that spot right there in 5th. Trying to catch up to that pack of those 4 front runners to make it another pack and join also those other machines behind him of Devin West and Stephen Paulison to make one big pack of 7 coming out of turn 4.
Yeah, it's almost a never-ending train with all the drivers are sticking with one another, even with the damage that was kind of gained from all these drivers. I mean, that last pit stop, Dan West Jr., who's in 3rd, as well as Casey Garber and Caden Anderson, all had to stay in just a little bit longer than usual to try to get a little bit of repairs done for themselves. Dan West Jr. stayed in the longest of the drivers that are in our top 5, but certainly the damage is not hurting them enough to where they're completely out of this race.
A 3-way battle brewing for the lead. Outside looking in. Here comes top side. Stab now inside. Brightsman outside West. Garber ready to pounce on them as well. Team LSRTV not holding anything back. Penultimate race to the playoffs. And there you see them right there. By the way, we mentioned the scoring ticker. The drivers in green. We're going to switch our ticker real quick and go back from top to bottom. We want to show you the drivers in green, which includes Sean Brightsman, Dan West Jr. by virtue of wins. Jeff Stab now, though he's not won this year, has made it into the playoffs by points. Anderson into the playoffs with a lot of wins. He's 5th. Tyler King in by points. O'Hare is in by points. Dennis Moore is in by points. So right now, Samuel Dyer, 7 out of the 12 spots are up and not available. 5 remain into this race and next week at Talladega.
Yeah, we also can add another driver to the mix that are making it to the playoffs, making it 8 that are officially locked in. With Devin West running the laps that he has officially counted this race as a run. That means his win that he got earlier in the season counts. The 5. We'll see him in the playoffs as he's locked in.
Anderson, there he is, and Devin West right there, Paulison there. And that Sinclair Donico number 58 machine. Same wrap job as Michael Self had in the ARCA series for Bill Venturini Motorsports. And by the way, the Sinclair Donico car and truck, Samuel, is from what movie?
Toy Story.
Ah, very good, very good. I bet you Hims didn't know. What did you say? Hims is what?
Hims is eating Cheetos.
Hims is eating cheese puffs?
I mean, he had the best quote from the S&B Cup Series earlier on today about Coca-Cola.
Yes, he did. Oh.
You want to know about that quote?
I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to open that door. I'm not going to open that door.
After tonight's race, go back, watch the S&B Cup Series. You'll see it halfway
Don't
through the stream.
Don't condone his acts. Don't do that. He said that Coca-Cola is the beer of champions. Yeah, it's true.
Very true. As the battle was on screen from 8th place all the way back to 14th is this pocket and pack of cars we're watching right now, being led by that of Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare, Brian Reynolds. But they've got that of Dennis Moore, Cole Raz. Both of the 44 and the 10 have shown speed, as well as our pole sitter in 14th place. But they only went with, besides Cole Raz, for Dennis Moore, he decided to stay in a little bit longer, fell back in the pack, and for the 00, decided to just go with repairs manually and not a fast repair. So just trying to take their time to cut their way through this pack. But Wesley, we've been green for quite a while, and we saw on Monday night some drivers in the Cup cars trying to split this race in half, and they were able to do it. They would have been able to do it successfully, but a lot of cars on Monday decided to go with a two pit stop type of a night. Wondering what we're going to see here tonight for these truck guys, as certainly there's some drivers that might think about from here on out just turning this race into one more stop, and they'll be good to make it to the end.
Yeah, got to wonder if that's the strategy, obviously. We'll see it. Brightsman along there with West and Stab now. There's your top 3. They're in the green bars. They're in the playoffs. Caden Anderson, Samuel, Caden Anderson to come back and be in the top 10 after that problems he had with Dan West Jr. What a way to redeem himself. Doing good right now.
Yeah, the biggest thing for Caden Anderson is when he spun around, he was able to keep that truck still facing forward after a crazy 360 moment. But only lost a couple of more spots after coming in pit road, staying a little bit longer than everyone else. But yeah, what a rebound for himself. 6th place. He's only 4 positions back from where he started. So still a lot of ground that can be picked up here for the 37 team. But, looking at the drivers that are up front, I mean, Sean Brightsman, what a complete swap around that he's had. I mean, Monday night, that 46 team looked like they were struggling since the green. Here tonight, though, up front, trying to defend as he's got the lap car of Ryan Bloom, who's on fresh tires, going to be trying to make the pass quickly. We saw Monday night lap traffic influencing our leaders, not expecting to see it happen this time. Bloom easily make the pass by, but Dan West Jr. loved that pass. He's painting a little bit closer each and every moment.
Brightsman, West, Stab now. 1, 2, and 3. Garber, Devin West, Sun West, if you will, in 5th. Anderson, Paulison, there you see him right there. There's Dan West Jr. Jeff Stabnow, laying in the weeds, hanging in the back, in 3rd. And West trying to hold off Stabnow. Samuel, he's coming after him. While that goes on, Sean Brightsman is pulling away in the 46.
Yeah, the last time by, almost identical were the times between Sean Brightsman and Jeff Stabnow. It's Dan West Jr. that seems to be fading a little bit. But I think right now for Jeff Stabnow, what's hurting this 2014 the most could be the fact that he has brushed the wall a couple of times before that first caution, and he's brushed it once or twice after we've gone green since our first caution. So this 2014 might be dealing with a little bit of aero issues, but luckily he's behind that of Dan West Jr. Going to be trying to utilize the draft to the best of his abilities, but that dirty air certainly is one of the factors that really hurts a lot of drivers from trying to make passes here at Kentucky. I mean, there is not a lot of banking through 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. That's why these drivers have to stay so low, and if they overshoot, they're losing a ton of ground and time.
So Brightsman is the man leading the way. There's Devin West. Devin West is in that 5. Along with Garber, there are your top 5. So that's for 4th and 5th. As they head to that 3rd turn. This race is coming up on halfway on lap 67. We'll be halfway. And look at now, Cole Raz getting around Briar Reynolds for position. Put him back into 11th, trying to get into the top 10, Samuel, and the number 10 coming back to the field.
Yeah, Cole Raz, just based off of his times that he's putting down, he would be mired around that 6th, 7th position, just based off the lap times that he's putting down currently. But because Cole Raz got the lucky dog spot, had to start all the way back in 20th position on that last restart, he's had to march his way through this field, through traffic, and each and every pass you make, the next driver is harder to get by. That means you have to use more of your grip that you have on these trucks. And it is certainly starting to hit the 10 machine. I think once we get into pit stops here, most likely we're going to be seeing in the next 15 to 20 laps, around laps 75 to 80 is when we're most likely going to be seeing these pit stops coming around for these drivers. That's when we're going to be seeing who decides to undercut, who's going to try to stretch it as far as they can go.
Briar Reynolds to that number 12 truck, still strong. Behind him is Onenbacher. And that is for 12th and 13th. Also, Gamble is there in the 54. And while that goes on, Cole Raz still in the 11th position. So we're not done yet, as Sean Brightsman is the man out in front. There he is, crossed the start-finish line. Sean Brightsman, defending Northwest iRacing Cup Series champion, presented by Tom Ditchell Automotive Group. He won the championship. He was the runner-up in the Truck Series championship to Dan West Jr., his teammate. The native out of Puyallup, Washington, now resides in Tucson, Arizona. And Brightsman looking strong, Samuel. There he goes. And that number 46 machine. West right behind him in 2nd. Stabnow 3rd. Sun West and O'Hare, the top 5 down the back straightaway here at Kentucky. We've had one caution. That was for an accident involving the number 37 of Caden Anderson. And he got right back in the game again, Samuel. He is in 7th.
Oh yeah, he is cruising forward, and for some of these, a lot of these drivers, they're loving the fact that this has gone into a long green flag run. I think some guys hoping that there would have been a little bit more cautions brought out so they can make these little adjustments. Because in pit road, you can make just small adjustments in an open setup race to come in. You can put a little bit more toe to help out the car turning wise or tighten it up. But I mean, Wesley, playoffs right around the corner, and look at that ticker. Almost every driver that is locked in, inside of the top 10, even Devin West, that technically just because he ran a lap locked himself in, just showing the drivers that are inside for the playoffs, they are all top competitors that are excited for when the playoffs come around.
Tyler King up the outside. Here comes Dennis Moore back to the bottom. And you think of the top 10, all 7 are in the playoffs that we mentioned, Samuel. 2 spots are not playoff contenders just yet. And here's something to think about. You got Devin West in the 5. You've got Casey Garber. Samuel, they've won races on the series, and they still are not in the playoffs yet.
Well, Devin West, technically, because of how many laps he has ran, because he just started this race and he's been running, he is now locked into the playoffs.
Who did?
Devin West. Devin West.
So
after
Devin
his
West
win
is in the playoffs. That's right. Okay, my apologies. So 8 are in the playoffs if you count Devin West. We just haven't got an opportunity yet to make that scoring ticker green. Right. He had to start today's race to be able to lock himself in the playoffs. So we do know that Devin West is now 8. So now 8 drivers, 4 spots up for grabs to make the playoffs. And we're the first half of the race done, halfway through. All right, let's take you through the field of the lineup and go high above the racetrack. Our cover, Brian Reynolds, coming to the pits, number 12. Tyler King is also in the pit lane. Green flag pit stops underway.
Yeah, this is around the window where drivers were thinking about pit stops to be made. It's thinking around probably lap 75 was going to be that first window, but these are the drivers that are going to be undercutting and banking on the fact that they might be able to stretch it from here all the way to the end. It's going to be a tall task to stretch it over 60, I believe it's going to be 65 laps that they need to stretch it for. So it's going to be a lot of laps that these drivers need to cover. But if we're looking close to how we saw the drivers able to save fuel on Monday, it might be possible for these guys to be able to make this move. As now Dan West Jr., Devin West into pit road.
Onto the pit lane, green flag pit stops. Dan West Jr., he is in. So really one of those trucks that were in the top 5 coming in. And now we're going to see everyone else. We're wondering when Brightsman, Stabnow, O'Hare. Samuel, do you think they're trying to set up a one more pit stop, and this is now to finish this race, do you think?
I mean, if we see any of our leaders try to stretch it out to possibly around lap 78, I think they should be 100% good to make it all the way from here. But man, anyone that's pitting before lap 75 to 78, They need to do a little bit of fuel saving, but I think they're going to be good to make it, as you see the 7 O'Hare, as well as Dennis Moore into pit road getting their service done.
Gold 24, Stab now in. He'll give up second.
They just start trickling in, and these are around the drivers that stay out the longest. That their goal is that they're going to have the best tires. They can try to run down and catch up. But looking at the drivers last times that they put down compared to their best, and Sean Breitzman now into pit road, they were running about a second and a half off of what their best times were. So if you're staying on a little bit longer, could be losing some ground that you got to catch up the drivers that pitted earlier.
Six cars have not came to the pit lane just yet. There's Cole Raz, and Cole Raz has now moved his way back to the bridesmaid spot. He's at P2. Garber is the leader. Cole Raz. Anderson right there. 1, 2, and 3. Just after halfway. Sean Breitzman down below the apron. He's on that blend line. Remember, you got to wait till you pass that cone on the back straightaway on the blend line coming to the pits. And then you can enter back on the racetrack, and that's what he does in the Sigma, number 10. One of the drivers of the Alan Kawicki Driver Development. And now the Mel Johnson entry, number 10. Here comes Cole Raz. Casey Garber will now cycle back around as the leader.
Kaden Anderson also going to be in second. Toby Ritter's in third, and 3 out of the 6 into pit road. Cole Raz leading that group with Troy Dagg and Eric Cooper going to be coming in following suit.
Want to remind everybody that we have a special race coming up on Sunday night, this Sunday night. And that will be at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 Central. Samuel will be joining me in the broadcast booth. And how about this, Sam? It is going to be at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 100 laps, super late models. Holy cow.
Oh man, it's gonna be a blast to watch that race. The draft's gonna be so massive, and all the different moves we're gonna be seeing. It's gonna be a fun one Sunday night, that is for sure. Kane Anderson into pit road now, as the last driver waiting for is Toby Ritters. But yeah, no, Sunday night. I've been waiting for that Sunday night race for a while, and I am so amped up for it.
Ritter's in the lead. How about that? The Ritters family got to be happy. Toby's at the P1 spot. Clifford. Oh, well, so much for that lasted. He comes to the pits.
Oh, the big dog was able to stay out there. He might
At
be able to
least
lead
not
this
a
lap.
lap.
If he can get there fast enough, he might lead this lap.
That's right. Hey, he's going to cross the scoring loop as the leader. Maybe. Oh, he
no.
overshot his pit box. West, Breitzman. West, that's father Breitzman's son, West. There they are, 1 through 3. Stab down 4th. King is 5th.
It's a 2.6 second difference between Dan West Jr. and Sean Breitzman, and it's also a 3 lap difference of tires between the 55 and the 46 for your 1-2 positions. Devin West followed what his dad did, came down on lap 70. Now the question is, will this work out for both of them? As Jeff Stab now stayed out until lap 72 to come into pit road as he gets by Tyler King, and now aiming to try to run down the 5. This fastest lap on track, though, goes to the 94. Casey Garber back in 12th.
So, we await Dan West Jr., Sean Breitzman. West, I think everybody's pitted now. I think they've all pitted.
Yeah, they've all calmed down.
So it all goes back to Dan West Jr.
After pitch strategies, yep, Dan West Jr. After the undercut, he was about second and a half off. Because he pitted 3 laps sooner than Sean Breitzman, he was able to gap himself and have this 2.3 second lead gap over the 46.
We are going to show you the best battle on the track now. This is finally back single file. For a minute there, they were side by side. Casey Garber and Stephen Paulison, and that race is in 11th and 12th.
It was looking like a good battle until the driver that's got fresher tires, that being Casey Garber, made the pass, and now his goal pull away for the 94. Currently in 11th position, and now we're going to be seeing the battle that's currently going on for 3rd place. Jeff Stabnow make the pass on the 5.
So here's what we're going to do. We're working lap number 84 of 134. We've not took a break for a while. We got to thank our sponsors, Tom Dinchell Automotive Group. And what we will do is break in if anything happens. Right now we are nestled in another long green flag run just after a cycle of green flag pit stops. Your sawblade.com top 5. Top left coming down the monitor. There you see him, Dan West Jr., Sean Breitzman, Jeff Stabnow. Hey, that's Team LSRTV. In the top 4, you count Devin West as well. And Stephen O'Hare, the wild card on the outside looking in. 2 races to go, halfway here in Kentucky to determine the playoffs in Northwest iRacing Truck Series when we return coverage of the second half of the Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking 200 on LSRTV and CRN Sports.
Hey, it's Wesley Outland, the face with the voice of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series, the American iRacing League that you hear simulcasted on the Community Radio Network. And that's what we want to tell you about. We are excited to continue the partnership of covering esports on CRN, just like we do with all the other broadcasts that I cover in real life, like MAV TV, Short Track America, Speed 51 TV, Fox Sports Radio for college, high school sports. The Community Radio Network does the same thing. In addition to broadcasting real athletics, we're excited to be the radio voice of LSRTV's coverage of the Northwest Cup and Truck Series presented by Tom Dinchell Automotive Group, the American iRacing League, and special events along the way. It's very simple. On your web browser, laptop, tablet, or cell phone, go to wearecrn.com, click on play, and you are able to keep up with the action. It's very simple. The power of radio to the imagination of the listener. Check us out when you can. Esports coverage from LSRTV on CRN, the Community Radio Network, wearecrn.com.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting Dodge and Chrysler products. Lots of performance there, lots of excitement there. They've done a great job in really creating a full scope product line that could suit everybody's needs. Whether it's a family vehicle or a fun vehicle or a utility type vehicle or a big truck, we've got it all for our customers.
Wheel to wheel, battle for the race lead. New race lead down the stretch. Here comes Training Frederick.
Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, right? Our Ram trucks, truck of the year, amazing trucks. We have fun Jeeps, and then the exciting.
Well, they were just excited to have another commercial for Tom Denchel Automotive Group, and we're good. Welcome back to coverage for the trucks. Samuel Dyer, Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten. Clicking a little extra button to do a little more promotion. By the way, Tom Denchel Automotive Group, glad to have them as a part of our broadcast coverage of the Trucks Northwest iRacing Cup and Truck Series. Well, well, well. Jeff Stabnow, 24 truck. Samuel, what do you think of the race so far, bud? There you go. Lap 91, 134, closing in on lap 100, just shy of, let's just say it, 50 laps, under 50 laps to go. And Dan West Jr. is the man, the pick of the litter, out in front. Brightsman second, Stabnow third. There he is. Still a lot of racing left to go, you think, bud?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought for most since after we had our green flag pit stops that Sean Brightsman was going to catch up to Dan West Jr. in pretty speedy fashion, but it just seems like Sean Brightsman, he might have used up the tires a little bit too soon instead of trying to be patient through the whole entire stint. He's still gaining slowly, but these drivers, we're starting to get to a point where the drivers can question, do they want to pit again? Or some might be thinking about stretching it as far as they can go. Drivers for sure that I feel comfortable can make it all the way are the drivers back in 8th, back to 10th. That's Cole Raz, Casey Garber, and Caden Anderson. The rest of the field, they're on kind of a thin ice. They can get aggressive for just a few little moments, then they got to back off their speed, make sure they've saved enough fuel to make it to the end. But Dan West Jr., he's just staying patient. He was patient on Monday night. That's how he was almost came away with the surge to win Monday night, but a late incident took that chance away. As now we're going to see Devin West catching up to that of Stefan O'Hare.
Patience is a virtue, my friend, and still a long way to go in this event for sure. Watching these drivers working their way back around the racetrack again. He's Samuel Dyer, Wesley Outland, Charles Wooten back here with you as well. We also have a rabbit spotter joining us is just viewing the action is Chris Kamier. Hopefully soon you'll be hearing Chris Kamier on the broadcast coverage. It's the Southern in me, damn it. I'm sorry, I said Chris Kamier. It's Chris Kamari. So the next time I'm going to think of his name like a bird canary. Chris Kamari. Chris Kamari. Crisco Kamari. All right, got it. Chris Kamari is joining us as the rabbit tonight.
Chris is certainly feeling the love, that is for sure.
Just trying to make him feel part of the team. He's about to get thrown to the fire here very soon. Quick time! All right, here we are. Samuel, best battle on the racetrack. It's a little spread out, but it's right now the best battle on the track, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, though, I think a lot of these drivers recognize, hey, we got to save fuel. So these battles, they're going to be slow burns. But by the time that we get to maybe 20 to maybe 15 laps to go, everyone's going to be truly on top of one another. But that last time by, thought maybe Devin West was catching up to Stefan O'Hare, but last time by it was O'Hare. That was just a tick faster than the 5. But Toby Ritters came into pit road. Kind of a shocker to see him come in, and he's kind of following the same strategy of Frank Harris, who came in 3 laps ago. So we'll see what the 23 Clifford, what type of strategy call is this, as he must be banking on this race going green to the end and hoping that this strategy might work out for the big 23.
A late race pit stop, possibly.
Yeah.
A late race pit stop. Boy, somebody better wake up.
You know when you set your alarm and you think that it's for AM and it's actually for PM? Yeah, that's exactly what just happened to me.
So you just set your alarm for what would be 9:50 a.m.
Yeah.
So it's actually 9:50 p.m.
Yeah.
Boy, you'd have been fired.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, they couldn't make it, Samuel. They got a pit. Here we
Also
go.
damage
Late
on
race
that
pit
rear
stops.
end.
This is the money stop, I believe, buddy. This is the money stop.
That rear end damage going to be taken for the tires. Going to get that 55 set up and back out there. But yeah, this is an interesting call. But now into pit road, Sean Bryson. So showing that these drivers
Wow.
feel not comfortable that they can stretch it. A lot of drivers, the whole entire top 5 into pit road.
Holy cow. I was not expecting this. Are you kidding me? I thought they could go the distance. Boy, were we wrong. Did we undercalculate here, Samuel? My goodness.
Well, I said that they were on thin ice if they could even make it. I felt like there was a shot for that of Cole Raz, Casey Garber, and Caden Anderson that are still out there on track. But our whole entire top 6 practically decided, we got to come in. And Tyler King struggling to just get into his box properly after wasting 3 seconds. He finally in his box.
Late race pit stops underway. And here we go. Understanding Annenbacher and Peterson are in the pits now.
I'm expecting to see driver in 4th place, Robert Gamble. Expecting to see that 54 team in the pit road. I think he might have come in just maybe a lap or two too soon. But Cole Raz in the pit road. That's showing that they cannot make it our front. Our whole entire drivers are still out there. They have to still
That's
come
right.
into pit road.
Wow. You're exactly right, Samuel. This shows that they are not able to go to the end, if you will. And this changes everything. The entire format, the setup, the way this race was going to go down. We might see an upset because of this, Samuel. We might see somebody pop in and win this race, play their cards right, stay out of trouble, and be there at the end.
And this is right around that window that we kind of saw Monday night, right, where Cole Raz started up front and he just took off, didn't care about saving his tires. He tried to build up a big enough lead where everyone else had to catch up to him. Right now, Dan West Jr. would be that truck right now that is leading those that have already pitted. If the 55 can just go as fast as he can and build that gap as large as possible, there's a chance that he could hold off everyone else if we start to see the rest of our top 4 have to come into pit road.
The question is, will they do just that? Will we see these late race pit stops continue and because of it change the entire complexion of this race? As the race goes on, it's down to the wire. As right now, Casey Garber. And Samuel, how cool will it be if Casey Garber could get back to victory lane and in doing so, punch his ticket into the playoffs possibly?
Yeah, I mean, it would be massive for Casey Garber, who's just been staying in the top 10 all race long, just trying to stay consistent. The biggest problem for Casey Garber right now is the truck directly behind him. It's that 37, Caden Anderson, within 3/10, just looming, staying, and they've been staying out. They have not come into pit road. As we saw Cole Raz come into pit road, just came in, topped up with full fuel, was the 10, and now just lingering, staying, and kind of pressuring his teammate instead of just staying behind. This is an interesting call by Cole Raz.
Boy, oh boy, here comes Robert Gamble onto the pit lane.
Gamble had a sense, just because of the time that he came into pit road was around lap 72, and everyone else that was around 73 to 70 had to come in. So it made sense he had to come in.
Wasn't you picking Anderson?
I picked Anderson to win this thing. He's won the last 4 of these mile-and-a-half courses.
We'll see what happens here. We're down to the end of this still. Down to these under final remaining laps with 25 to go coming up next time by. 26 to go at the line now.
And if somehow our top 2 cannot make it, Dan West Jr., he is sitting in 3rd place with the next closest driver behind him being Sean Breisman, who's 2.5, a little bit more than 2.5 seconds ahead of Sean Breisman. So Dan West Jr. looking poised. If he's kind of banking on the fact that his front 2 of Casey Garber and Kane Anderson cannot make it, the 55 is looking pretty solid.
So impressed with the drive, with the job. Caden Anderson bouncing back, if you will, Samuel, from that bad luck that he had earlier.
Got contact
What a
between
run.
himself and Dan West Jr. and yeah, was able to come back. But also for Dan West Jr., I mean, that contact also hindered the 55 a little bit. He had to come in pit road after that caution and stayed in and lost, track position, trying to get the repair done on the 55 and then cut his way through. Wesley looking at the time of each lap that's being put down. I think Dan West Jr. might be able to catch our front 2 before this race is over. If we don't see Casey Garber and Kaden Anderson pick up the pace, Dan West Jr. could make the pass with 3 laps to go.
Garber still the man out in front. Anderson there, the second. West there is third. There's his truck 55. Lap traffic in the midst of the leader, Samuel Dyer. 4 lap vehicles in front, led by the winner Monday night of Cole Raz.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing right now is that lap traffic was trying to help Kaden Anderson for a second there because they're not catching up. They're being passed by the lap cars. And this could be putting us in a situation that we saw on Monday night where it was our 2 leaders battling between one another. It was a lap car that was on fresher rubber, made the contact, and could bring out a late yellow if these drivers aren't careful with driving around our leaders. So it's Smith and Tyler. It's Smith and also Tyler King. They're going to be the next ones trying to get by our leader. Smith now getting below that of Kaden Anderson. This is what's losing them time and giving a shot for Dan West Jr. to catch our leaders. Oh boy, Wesley. Oh boy.
Can you say business has picked up? Because it certainly has. Dan West Jr. right there with Anderson. Got to close in on him. He's 10 seconds back. This is going to be a battle between Garber and Anderson.
As if they've saved enough. Next lap car that's going to catch up to our leader is going to be that of John Ottenbacher.
Samuel understanding Garber and Anderson on 40 laps of fuel on their drive so far. Everyone else on 15 laps of fuel. So we know West, Brightsman, Stab now on back can go to the distance to the finish.
Yeah, I mean, the longest we've seen these drivers go is around 55 laps of fuel. It's one of those things where you're pushing it as far as you can go. John Ottenbacher giving a little bit of a push. Kaden Anderson. It was this 89 that brought out the yellow Monday night, able to get below Kaden Anderson, and Will get by, but whew, a little bit of a scare.
Shootout time. What he said. Got a little battle going on as we just were told.
Battle for
All
7.
right.
7 West, Dennis Moore.
The I have no words. I'm
Hims
have
is
no
always
words.
just at us. He's just trying, man. He's trying. He's going after you. You, the audience, can't hear him, but we can. He's trying to distract us.
Caution! Caution!
Yellow
Caution!
flag.
Caution's out! Yellow flag! Oh my goodness!
Oh boy.
Caution is out! And this will change everything. Yellow flag!
I think there might have been for Anderson.
Is this Anderson again?
I saw a blip on our ticker that said off track for Anderson, but I don't know what possibly could have done this to him.
We're about to find out. Late race caution. Both cautions tonight by Anderson on the front straightaway. This time out of turn 4. Wow.
Oh boy. Casey Garber able to come
your
into pit
picks out.
road. Anderson into pit road. Does anyone else have tires on this? I think there is there a shot that everyone else is out of tires and it's just
I think they're all used up.
down to Cole Raskin and Anderson and Casey Garber in here?
Wow, interesting. Well, you see Garber in the pits, so is Anderson. Late race pit stops. Cole Raz in the pits. All of these guys that were trying to stretch it, saved by the Banana Republic flag. And if you don't know what the color of that flag is, it's yellow.
Oh, good.
Obviously,
thank you.
our
I thought it was
producer's
Steeler for a
colorblind.
second.
Hey, tomorrow, CRN Sports. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 6:15 Eastern Time, coverage of North Carolina High School athletics, JV football, as the 0-1 Comets taking on the Wake Forest Cougars, both on a neutral site at Nightdale High School. Coverage will begin with the new High-Q Energy Drink pregame kickoff. Yours truly, Wesley Outland, Blake Robertson, Kim Winslow on the sidelines. Tomorrow night, 6:15 Eastern on CRN, the Community Radio Network. And then Friday night from Triple S, Smithfield Selma Varsity, Clayton Wake Forest Varsity from Triple S. And we'll have that at 6:30 Eastern Time on the Community Radio Network as well. Coverage at WeAreCRN.com. And, of course, eSports, proud sponsor, is the voice of live sim racing. LSRTV, CRN Sports. Your coverage of the best iRacing. The Cardinal Gibbons game for JV, they won 41-0 last Thursday night. In varsity, they lost to the #1 team in the state, the defending 4A state champions of Grimsley, for varsity, 56-0. Now, mind you, Samuel, you go from being one of the top dogs in the 3A bracket to moving into a new world with 4A. You're going to take a little scrapes and bumps and bruises along the way.
And you're versing the best out there, like in the state. In that,
Yeah.
that's
That's
like
what I
not
said
even.
to the coach. I was like, really? Right out of the gate, you want to play the damn state champions? Are you serious? Well, we
Hey,
saw
at
the
least
outcome.
that's telling you, you know exactly where your weaknesses are on tape. Hey, they can grow from that for sure.
I'm gonna-
There's little things.
Hey.
Hims is not understanding how tape how it's going to work in the film room.
He just hates He just hates football. He just. Wow.
Well, that is disrespectful.
Says the guy that was
Well,
probably
back
a
to
bench
racing.
warmer all his life.
Wesley, everyone in our top 9 did not come in for tires. Leading off the group is
That's
going
right.
to be Casey Garber, Caden Anderson, Cole Raz. They're going to be 10th, 11th, 12th. They're going to be flying with some fresh rubber. 19 laps.
It's gonna be on. It's gonna be on like Donkey
Woo!
Kong. It's gonna be on like Donkey Kong, and somebody dropped the bananas somewhere on the track. Warning: the trucks that are coming through the field in Caden Anderson and Casey Garber. Our producer is predicting that not only Jeff Stabnow will win this race, but there will be a caution with those trucks because they're going to be going too quick trying to race the rest of the pack, Samuel, that is on slower tires because nobody else pitted except Caden Anderson, Casey Garber, yeah, and Cole Raz.
Cole Raz going for the sweep this week.
Hit the wall earlier, remember? Hit the wall. Hit the
Got
wall,
absolutely
battle,
shoved
get
into
ready
the
to
wall.
battle back. Well, shoved into the wall, hitting the wall. Potatoes, Carmeyer, Camary, you name it. Geico restart zone. Green, back out. We're back underway. I hope we're
It's
making
the best restart.
yes. 13 to go. Look at them all bobbled up together. Look at this, side by side. Stab now inside. Brightsman there. West is there. O'Hare's there. Fighting for the last piece of chicken on the dinner table. And it's not even Turkey Day yet in the turn 3.
Oh boy, I mean, that was Sean Brightsman trying to make that outside line work. And what a power move from the 46.
Yes, sir. Holy man. Kentucky Speedway has come to life. Sideways goes Tyler King. King in front of, oh, more in front of Garber. And King now drifts in front of Garber. Oh boy, oh boy. Coming to 10 to go this time by. It's getting good. It's getting antsy.
Yeah. Oh, Casey Garber, I don't like that call. He went to the inside trying to get by Tyler King. I would have preferred him to stay high. Use that third lane. You got the tires to make the move. Here comes Caden Anderson.
3-1. 3-1, 4-1, any kind of way wide. Look at this. Garber and Morris says, get out of my way, fellas. And Garber goes to the outside. Cole Raz is going up in the Angels Expressway. Where mama, look at this. Trouble. We got a truck spinning. They save it. No caution. Boy, oh boy, Samuel Dyer, they were up in the top shelf where Grandma hides the cookies from Grandpa. Hold on to your dentures while you're at it again. 3-1 into 4.
Oh, getting pitched was Casey Garber. Cole Raz now going to be the whole shot of the drivers
Look at
with
that
fresh
action.
rubber.
Boy, oh boy, they said send it, and we did. 9 to go in this battle. Cole Raz up to 3rd. West and Brightsman pulling away.
Oh, Devin West!
Now,
He's
Devin West!
on.
Pushed to the bottom of the racetrack. He was bonsai to the inside. And Jeff Stabnow with a problem getting past by Anderson and Garber like a lost cause. Wow. Look at this battle. A storm brewing below the apron. Onenbacher almost into Moore. And Smith on the outside. The pole truck back in the top 10. So much for my pick. 3-1. Oh, we got trouble. Onenbacher into the wall with O'Hare. Stephen O'Hare in the wall. He's in the wall. He's off the pace. No caution. No caution. No caution. No caution. 8 to go.
Oh, Hare and Onbacher just need a new week.
Are
Get off the
you
course.
kidding
They've
me?
together again.
Wow. What a run. Down into the corner. O'Hare bouncing off the wall. He'll fall back to 13th. Meanwhile, there they are. There they go. And Cole Raz, mind you, back to the front. They just passed West and Brightsman like sitting ducks, if you will. Literally. Like standing on a porch and a storm come through and blew them off the deck. Raz, Garber, Anderson, 1, 2, and 3 with 6 to go, Samuel Dyer.
This is just incredible to watch. These three, I'm just looking at the lap times. They're so similar, but it's Casey Garber kind of towing Caden Anderson to get to the back bumper of Cole Raz into the wall.
Wow, hold on to it, Anderson, almost into Garber. Could we see what Caden Anderson did when he swept the weekend? Could we see Raz do it here at Kentucky? And remember, Samuel, he's on the outside looking in on Cup and Trucks, trying to do all he can to punch his ticket into the playoffs. 5 to go, inside, outside, blocking Garber, blocking Anderson. He is driving 2 lanes and still good in the 10 off 4.
If Cole Rads does that again, Casey Garber's bumper might just shove the 10 down to the inside wall. You got to be careful blocking like that. This rear end's for these trucks. If you wiggle like that, that rear end is so light. Just one tap and you're gone.
4 to go. He stays to the bottom of the racetrack. They're catfishing on the bottom like a Polch popper fishing lure. Down into the back straightaway. Up the outside. Back up in the Angels Expressway. Into turn 3. Back down to the bottom. 4 to go. Make it 3 to go. Here at Kentucky. 3 trucks. 3 laps. Anderson on the inside below the apron trying to go to Garber. They go back to turn 1.
Just trying to cut down the course. They just get as much speed as possible. Just try to find the speed anywhere at this point for Caden Anderson. He's got to pass 2 trucks, and he really hasn't got to the quarter panel as well as he wants. This might be his best shot for this 37.
Trying to go after him down into that turn, into turn number 3. Inside, Anderson after Garber. What a run for Casey Garber. Cole Raz bouncing off the wall, redeeming himself. Back to the lead. 2 to go next time by. 3. Here he comes. 3 trucks fighting. Eeny, meeny, miny, no mo. Here they come out of 2. Raz out in front. 2 truck links back to the back straight away to 3.
This is 1 out of 3 shots for Casey Garber. He's got to try to make the move. He's got to get a little bit closer if he wants a shot. I just don't know if there's enough speed for this 94.
To the line, the CRN 1 to go. White flag in the air. All details at wearecrn.com. Final time around. It's Anderson and Garber for second. Raz pulling away off 2 for the final time. Can he do it?
Cole Raz going for the sweep, and it was a late yellow. They just needed the fresh rubber. They got it. They cut through the field. Going through 3 and 4, Wesley.
What a stretch with pit stops with under 20 to go. After bouncing off the wall in the beginning, coming to the line, pull out a broomstick, possibly to playoffs. It's Cole Raz winning the outdoor cast iron cooking 200, sweeping Kentucky. Garber in second, Anderson third. Somebody hit the rewind button. Let's go back and do those 20 laps all over again. What a finish down the stretch.
Absolutely incredible run there by Cole Raz. Looking back, though, at his stats, even with this win, even if he starts next week, there's just not enough starts for these wins to count to put the 10 in the playoffs. But, man, what an end to Kentucky. That was a blast to watch there at the end.
You still don't think he can go to the playoffs yet? What if he sweeps Talladega next week?
He does not have enough starts. Counting today, he's got 8. He needed 13 at the minimum if he wants to make the playoffs for the trucks or cup. So it's not looking for
That's what I said earlier, Samuel. It doesn't matter how many wins you got. It's consistency and participation.
Also for this win, Cole Raz breaking the streak at mile and a half courses that Caden Anderson was on. And wow, I mean, what a run it was. Woo!
All right, guys, you jumped the gun a little too early. I think Cole Raz is like, what the hell, Toby Ritters? I was supposed to do my victory lap. He was trying to do the Polish victory lap. Yeah, I think y'all pissed him off. He's disappeared. All right, so here's the deal. He was doing the Polish victory lap that is always done by Alan Kowicki Driver Development Competitors. Of course, he is a member of the KDDP, and of course, that's based off the fame of the 92 NASCAR Cup Series champion Alan Kowicki doing the Polish victory lap after winning the championship. And in doing so, he got bonsai'd on the back straightaway, Samuel. So much for the celebration. And for that reason, we are not going to have our regular if you call it, well, never mind. Maybe that's hashtag fake news. They're gonna take their own selves out. Look at this. Kevin Smith, strike one on Robert Gamble. Is this heaven? No, it's a wall. Oh, so no celebration with the winner, as we always have it called the LSRTV Northwest High Five Celebration. So anyhow, there they are. Koraz winning, sweeping. Casey Garber second. Caden Anderson third. So Samuel, out of all the picks tonight, you got third. Tyler King is fourth. Jeff Stabnow, another decent run. Not a victory, but a top five. Dan West Jr. sixth. Sean Breitzman seventh. Devin West is eighth. Dennis Moore ninth. Kevin Smith in the 00. The top 10. Where in the heck is my pick? 10th. Wow.
Yeah, finishing out the top 20. You've got that of Stephen Paulson, John Ottenbacher, as well as Stephen O'Hare, Ryan Bloom, as well as Robert Gamble, finishing out your top 15 with Toby Ritters, Aaron Cooper, Troy Daggett, Ryan Reynolds, and finishing out the 20 drivers that are racing here tonight, Frank Harris, 20th position.
And the rest of the lineup, or the finish. Big Bird, where are you? He got stepped on, Ernie. Eric Cheney will finish in 21st. Carl Burke unable to start the race, and they are shotgun on the field. No, Eric Cheney had computer issues, and Carl Burke unable to start the race as well. So, well, Sammy D, man, what a race here tonight.
Oh, it was a blast. I mean, wasn't expecting the early caution to come out in those first, 20 laps, but certainly was a fun watch of getting to see a little bit of green flag pit stop strategies being thrown out. But man, that last caution with Caden Anderson spinning around, it reset everything, and honestly was the best thing that could have happened for our top three of Cole Raz, Casey Garber, and Caden Anderson.
Let's go back and do it again, as they say. A quick break. When we come back, we will grab a word with the top three here tonight at Kentucky. Cole Raz wins again, but still shy from making the playoffs. He'll have to just win. And I'm sure that that's exactly what he is going to do. We'll talk to them when we return. Cole Raz, Caden Anderson, as well as Casey Garber, the runner-up. Coverage from Kentucky Northwest iRacing Truck Series and the Outdoor Cast Iron Cooking 200. We'll wrap it up when we return. Welcome back to coverage from Kentucky. Cole Raz bouncing off the wall in the early going. Truck damaged, pancaked after bouncing off the safer wall barrier off turn 4. Rallied, redeemed himself, got back in the hunt. Late race pit stop, money stop, and win to sweep the weekend here tonight at Kentucky. We'll talk to him in a moment. But first, we're going to grab a word with the rest of the top three. By the way, Casey Garber is not available to talk in second place. So he had some other obligations going on. He said he had to go to bed early. He's got some other things, real life. So we're just going to talk to third place and the winner. So Samuel, what we will do is we'll duel an audible. You interview Caden Anderson, and I will interview Cole Raz. And by the way, Caden Anderson, that was Samuel Dyer's pick to win the race tonight.
Yeah, I did pick you, Caden. I was hoping that just maybe you could continue on your streak of 1.5 wins. But, Caden, early on, it was looking good for yourself. You were looking fast, but then you got caught by the rest of the field. How was your long run setup? Because it seemed like you were quick for those first 15 to 20 laps, but then everyone else was catching you.
Yeah, in the first, I want to say first run, I had a decent car. It fell off pretty quick towards the end. It was super tight, so when me and Dan got together, it was a racing incident. So we came in, I made an adjustment, and I went too far, too tight. I made the wrong adjustment, and so then the second run it was really bad, and then I ended up coming in for that last pit stop for fuel only, or no, I didn't come in for fuel only, but I made an adjustment, and I went the complete opposite way, and I made it too loose, and so then I ended up spinning on my own, not on purpose as some people think, but I got too loose, spun out, and then I still had tires left because we stayed out hoping to catch a caution, and we did. Unfortunately, it was me, but we caught that caution, and then I just tightened it back up.
Yeah, and with tightening it up, you also had the fresh rubber. How was it climbing through that pack of drivers that you knew you had better tires then, but man, it looked chaotic from up here in the booth. How was it in the car?
It was really chaotic. You have Cole and Casey that were also on new tires, so trying to weave and get through everybody while also trying to stay in front of those two was pretty tough. But after tonight, the incident early on with Dan and me saying I'll take a third place.
We are just a race away from the playoffs. Still got Talladega. How are you feeling about going to Talladega next week?
I feel like we're in a decent position. Anything can happen. But we're gonna work on our car and our setups, and hopefully we'll be better.
Well, Caden, before we let you go, the floor is yours for any shout-outs.
Yeah, I want to thank Harvest Chevrolet, LSRTV, and Tom Dental Auto Group for hosting all this.
That's Caden Anderson in the 37, finishing third. Over to you, Wesley.
All right, to victory lane we go. He swept the week for the Northwest iRacing Cup and Truck Series, but still not enough to make the playoffs. Maybe, possibly for Cup. Trucks is not enough races, but Cole Raz, congratulations, another win. If you can't race for a championship, you might as well race for those W's. That's what everybody does anyway. Congrats on dominating Kentucky.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. I mean, I'm not too worried about playoffs. I think, just getting so wrapped up in the real side of racing. Just coming here in my free time and spend time having fun. That's what it's all about. But I'll tell you what, I felt like the night was over pretty early after that lap 8 incident with Kevin Smith, and that was pretty unfortunate. Didn't really expect that coming. So, as you mentioned, pancaked the right side of the wall or the car, and went a lap down, got that back, and was just kind of fighting our way back slowly but surely the whole night. Caden and I came in tonight with no setup. We just kind of used what was shared by Sean and Jeff. So, we just made do with what we had, and obviously it worked. And thankfully for that late race yellow and staying out, just to take fuel only, it was kind of a gutsy call. Didn't really know how it would work out, and I felt like Superman there on that last restart.
I was going to say that. What was the mindset like after having those troubles, bouncing off the wall, hitting the wall, and obviously thinking your race is done, and then just that virtual drive to stay in the hunt of things, and especially in a race that was pretty darn clean and green for a long time, especially after just that one caution whenever Anderson spun out.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta just get your mind back into it. I mean, it happened so early. I guess that's kind of a positive takeaway from that, is because it happened so early. You got 127 laps to go get your spot back, and then just be back in contention. And you know, we were probably a 7th place car. We had that yellow and was able to come get some fresh rubber, but it was definitely chaotic on that last restart. Just kind of got to pick the right lane and see what's moving and making some pretty tight moves. And you know, just got to keep Casey Garber and Caden behind me. And luckily they got a little busy with one another and let me drive away there at the end.
So you know you're not racing for a championship, but how many more weeks of competition are we going to see you in the Cup and the Truck Series now that you know the playoffs are looming?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try and make as many as possible. I gotta see. I only got 2 races left this year on the real side of things, but you know, just the time away from home, and I'm actually down in Arizona right now. Flew in today, so I'm at Brandon Farrington's place using his rig. So new setup, new office for me for tonight. I'm gonna try and make as many as possible and be a spoiler. Obviously in the truck series, but you know, if we don't make it in the Cup side, we'll go and win as many races as possible.
All right, buddy. Thank those sponsors. And again, big congratulations to you. Another big win on the Northwest Cup and Truck Series this week at Kentucky. And boy, Talladega's going to be fun next week, isn't it? Especially when you got nothing to lose and everything to gain with wins.
Yes, sir. The gloves will be off for next week, but big thank you to LSRTV, Charles, Sam, Wesley. I know Greg's not here, but big thank you to him for what he's done so far this year. Master Wrench, Wells Johnson. Caden Anderson is my teammate. We've been working good for the races we've been able to do together, and we'll go get some more.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations to you. Again, that is the driver of, again, Cole Rass. He sweeps the weekend here at Kentucky. Well, a fun time when it's all said and done. Cole Rass winning here at Kentucky. And we will get ready to go back topside here in the broadcast booth so we can get our final closing thoughts. Samuel Dyer and myself. And give our final assessment of everything that went on here. And get ready for Talladega. That should be a wild race. Next Monday and Wednesday, we'll have it for you. LSRTV and CRN Sports coverage. Samuel Dyer, are you back in our broadcast position, bud? We'll get ready to close things out.
Yeah, we're over. We're ready for action.
It is, and now we welcome you back inside the booth as we get ready to give our final thoughts of everything here tonight at the Kentucky Speedway. And, well, I guess the assessment is this, Samuel. Great performance by Cole Rass. Cole Rass racing for a chance. And it's all about
Yeah, that it certainly is going to be utter chaos next week. I know for the Cup side of things, because of the way that we have been seeing the Cup package these last couple of months, it's all about teamwork, track position, on who's going to win for the Cup side of things. It's the truck side, though, where it is a complete madhouse. Who knows who's going to win in the trucks, because that complete aero package, you can make hero moves. You can get these major runs and get the tow, and you can make a pass by yourself or just get one other truck with you. So next week certainly is going to be a blast. But here tonight, I mean, Cole Rass, just what a week he has had here at Kentucky. And once again, it was a late caution, and he finds himself up front.
I was going to say, what a way to redeem himself after bouncing off the wall, hitting the wall, thinking his race is done, and then he turns around and just goes through everything he needed to do to get the win. And, of course, when it's said and done, he did just that. So what an opportunity. What a great win for the driver of the race. And, man, just awesome performance for everyone that was here. And, Samuel, I really believe, honestly, as we move down the stretch for Talladega next week, and then that playoff series. Everybody's going to have a week to reset. Then we go to Indianapolis for the road course, and then the big track. And then again, you have got the best of the best, the 12, then amongst about 20 plus more that are just there to race, just there to have fun, like Cole Raz, looking for wins. And I think that's going to make it a very, very interesting ingredients, if you will, for destruction or chaos or fun times for sure for us in the broadcast booth.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited just to look and see who are the drivers that are qualified and have a chance. Those are the drivers that are willing to make some gutsy moves just to see who's going to be able to, what fuel mileage runs could we see? I know Talladega, not known for a fuel mileage race, but if we see some early cautions, it could put us in a window where drivers think about fuel mileage, and it's not always about who makes the last pass coming out of the last corner.
Should be a fun time. We'll do it again. Hey, and by the way, in closing, speaking of Indianapolis, Samuel, that's when me and you were back to work again this Sunday. Well, okay, you got the LTAC Championship finale. By the way, Chris White will be joining you in the broadcast booth for that race, the finale. Where is it going to be at? Darlington?
It's going to be at Homestead. No, yeah,
at
Darlington.
Darlington. Okay. No, yeah. It is Darlington. I thought it was Darlington.
It kept on
there
slipping.
You go.
My schedule, it's a complete mess.
You've earned every opportunity you've had lately, buddy, in the world of iRacing and esports. And unfortunately, I have real broadcast obligations for football tomorrow night and Friday night, Saturday night announcing. Sunday, we are back together, and that will be with the special LSRTV broadcast of Sunday Night Thunder with Indianapolis Motor Speedway, 100 laps. Not Indy cars, Sam Dyer, not NASCAR, not trucks, not ARCA, super late models, pavement, grassroots, super late models. Damn, that's going to be fun.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. That is for sure. Cars that really aren't meant for bump drafting, but you never know. Someone might feel a little brave and try to bump draft because honestly, Indy with super late models, the draft is going to be the biggest factor there.
We'll have our extended enhanced broadcast coverage again beginning at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on LSR TV, your home for sim racing. Once again, congratulations to Cole Raz. One final look at Kentucky Speedway. What a great time. What a fun time. What better place than right there at the start-finish line where Cole Raz gets it done and puts it to victory lane to sweep the outdoor cast iron cooking 200 for the Cup and the trucks here in virtual Sparta, Kentucky. For Rocket Media LLC, for Jeff Stabnow, for producer Charles Wooten in the production truck, for Samuel Dyer, I'm Wesley Outland. Greg Rentz again will be back after Labor Day when the playoffs begin. We congratulate Cole Raz winning tonight at Kentucky. Be good to one another. Keep on praying for America. God knows we need it. And we thank you for watching and listening on LSR TV, CRN Sports, your home for sim racing.